Jesus said unto his disciples, let us cross over to the other side. What is up? What is up? What is up, everyone? Everyone, everyone. It is another day, another time, and another week for Real Talk Monday. You all, look. It is the season finale. Yeah, I know. And it seems like this season went by too quick for me too. But you all trust me. I got some things cooking in the oven for next season, but I couldn't do a season finale without bringing one of my favorite guests, a woman that has become family to me. I got a lot of sisters, but I only got one auntie, and I'm talking about my auntie, Dr. Myava Clark. Let's hear it for y'all. Let's hear it.
Mhm.
Hey,
Hello.
auntie.
Hi. Hi. Well, my name is Dr. Myava Clark, and I am the co-founder of CASEN, Collaborative Advancement for Social and Emotional Needs. I help mothers of children with unique abilities to build a stronger bond with their children by providing tools and resources to help build their children's self confidence so that mothers don't have to worry about their children being bullied by other kids. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be back, nephew.
Ma'am, like y'all know this gotta be one of my favorite guests because she came on before her episode even launched to host my 200th episode and my anniversary episode. Then her episode just dropped a couple of weeks ago, and now she's back again. Like this is my auntie right here, and I absolutely love her. Like legit, when I tell you all, she will keep me in line. She will pray for me when I need it the most. Like it's nothing for her to shoot me a text and be like,
Yeah.
nephew, and start praying for me right then and there. It's like I can be stressed out, about to lose my everlasting mind, and this woman will be like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that at all. And literally pray for me right then and there. So I appreciate you. Everybody needs an auntie like you.
Oh, thank you. Well, what I want to tell your audience, um, it was definitely a divine connection from the very first time that we spoke. And actually, because something I've been known to lead with my heart, I guard my heart because I've learned that everyone doesn't deserve that space. And what happened is because of the divine connection, I prayed honestly to see if I could trust you with that piece of me. Okay.
Hmm.
So as we navigated it, because I don't want to be hurt and I don't want to hurt anyone,
I get
it
that.
organically evolved into what it is. And it feels like there's no difference between you and my biological nephews.
And it's
And
not.
that's how you know that was God.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like she has talked to me from making some very bad mistakes that if I would have made them, I would have regretted it. And literally, she talked to me and literally had those words of wisdom for me and told me when I was wrong. Tells me she is not afraid to tell me when I'm wrong at all. And that's what I love. I don't need yes man. I need people in my life that are gonna be like, yo, no, you messed up right there. And you know you messed up right there. Fix that. So
But
that's what I
see,
love.
that's true love, that's true connection, and that's true friendship. When you can impart godly wisdom on someone and they can accept it to you from you and not be offended. This world is so easily to offend people. It's people carry so many offenses. I've learned that even when it's intentional, just because you offend me or you try to doesn't mean I have to carry it. Carrying the offense is a choice.
Mm,
It's a choice.
I
And
like that.
I choose not to carry it even when it's intentional.
I like
And
that.
yeah, and sometimes when it's intentional, it may be a little harder to release, but that's when I pray and ask God to give me the strength because I don't want to live life in bondage. I've done it before. I've had people prisoners in my mind and I freed them. They're no longer captive because
Mm,
I don't want that.
I love that. I love that. Y'all see what I'm saying? She's dropping those words. She's dropping those wisdoms. Them pearls of wisdoms that I love.
So let's get into it. Come
Let's go.
on, come on,
Let's
come
go.
on.
So I'll let you go on ahead and kick it off. We had some powerful episodes this season.
You
I feel like every episode was powerful this season from January to now. Like I feel like everybody was just so powerful. But I really want to focus on the month of March. That month of March, this month of March has just been so power packed.
yes, it has, and I really enjoyed the episodes. I watched them, and I think you brought on some really strong women, and I'm honored to be among them because everybody was strong in their own right. Everybody brought something to the table, and I'll start with Minister Marquisha. She was the first one that kicked off March. I really enjoyed her. I think for me, my greatest takeaways from her was she appears to have a very strong relationship with God, and she you could see that he is a very influential part of her life.
For sure.
And through the conversation that she had, that was my greatest takeaway that she has not just talking about him, but she appears to have a real relationship with him.
For
And
sure.
and then even when she you had her to pray at the end, I just thought that was pretty powerful and a great takeaway for me.
It was, I mean, at that point, towards the end, what I love about it is I love when we plan for the conversation to go one way, and then literally God shows up and just totally takes it. Because for me, my thing is this I don't send out pre questions. And the reason why is because I have learned that when you send out those pre questions, what you're doing is programming in everything that's gonna happen. Sometimes God just wants that total control. And what I do is I'm like, look, God, this isn't my show. This is all you. Go on ahead and do what you want to do. And it's like when you mention his name only so much, you can only mention his name only so many times before he comes in and totally takes over. And that's what happens.
Yeah. And so being a person who has my own relationship with the Lord,
Hmm.
I love spending time with Him. I love spending quality time. And the reality for me is it wasn't always that way. I grew up in the church. My mother's a pastor. She was the assistant pastor of our church. So I always knew of God. Then I knew God, but I didn't always know God the way that I know Him now. I knew Him as Lord, I knew Him as Savior, but I didn't always know Him as friend.
That's good.
He's now my friend. I love spending time with my friend. If I don't spend time with my friend, I miss him. And so anyone who, now we all have our own different relationships. We all refer to him differently because we're individuals and we're not clones of one another. But when you find someone who can talk about the Lord like you, who can feel that even when you don't know them personally, you all already have a connection with them because of the commonality.
Hmm.
And I think for me, hearing her talk like that made me feel connected.
Right. And that's basically how we ended up connecting. I had been following her on social media for a while, and I finally DM'd her and asked her to come on to the show. And when she agreed, we had a conversation, just me and her beforehand, and it was like that first conversation. I already knew. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be a great episode where God is totally gonna show up and show out.
Hmm. Yes. And another thing that I appreciated, I think you asked her something like, has the church lost its way?
Hmm.
Was that what you asked her?
Yeah, because what we was talking about in that episode was, has the church gone? Has the church really lost its way with this younger generation?
Hmm. And one of the things that stuck out to me, she said, um, the the church needs some help. But what I appreciated is she didn't crush them.
Mm-mm.
She didn't. She didn't
Come down
throw
too far.
disparities. Yeah, she didn't. But she answered in a way that was more positive and hopeful and uplifting than condemning. So I appreciated that as well.
Oh, for sure, because both of us are church babies. We know the church. So it's like for us, it's like we don't want to come down too hard on the church. But what we want to do is let the church know, like, look, if you're not careful, it's gonna die out. We gotta do something and do something quick.
Hmm. So now your next guest, successful, was a successful
Successful
toy.
toy. Successful toy. Man, that one right there.
She has a lot going on. She's a boss in her own right.
Yes,
Was she? She's an author. She's a director. She has a what movie coming out.
yeah.
She she's an actress.
Hmm.
She's a rapper. She got a magazine. Am I forgetting anything? Oh, podcaster too, right?
Yeah, yeah. And she's a podcaster. And she's a mother on top of that as well.
Oh,
So it's
oh.
like she's doing a lot. A lot.
Mm, I can definitely relate to juggling a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, that was an episode that has been a long time coming, and both of us had to finally get to a point to where we was finally ready to have that episode. So it came when it was time for it to come.
And it was good. And it was a good episode. Sometimes one thing I say is you can have the right thing at the wrong time.
You know
I
why I'm laughing right now.
know why you laughing. You don't have to disclose it, but I do know.
Oh
The
my
right
goodness.
thing at the wrong time and still be out of God's will.
Mm. Woo. Yeah, that's real.
Yeah. So
Mm.
I have learned that you have to move at the pace of grace, but you want to be in the right timing with the Lord because it could be the wrong thing and it not work, or it could be the right thing, wrong time, and it still don't work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree with that. And there's been times where I've been out of his will, and I try to do it my way. I'm like, okay, I know you done said this, and God's like, yeah, I did say it, but you at you at part D, and I'm still at part A. Slow down, continue to build over here, and then you'll be ready. So
Right.
there's been
It
plenty of
was
times where you have to pull me back.
Isn't that what happened with was it Isaac and Rebecca
Mm-hmm.
with Esau and Jacob
Mm-hmm.
when God said that the younger one would be the leader. So it wasn't that Jacob wasn't supposed to have these rights and things um, that God had for him, but God wanted to do it in his time.
Yeah, it was
But his
Isaac
mother,
and Jacob.
no,
Jacob and
thank you. I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Yes, it was Isaac, but it was still Jacob and Esau,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but Isaac. And so my point is, his mother made a mess of things by going out of God's timing. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that it wasn't supposed to be, but it wasn't supposed to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
And that put Jacob on the run for years because he tricked his brother.
Yep.
But
For the
if
birthright.
for the birthright, but if they would have waited and allowed God to do what he wanted to do, the way that he wanted to do it, then those years of tension, those years of loss wouldn't have had to be because God had a way to do it that wouldn't have caused that animosity.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
when we had a right thing,
but
the
at the
wrong
wrong time.
time.
Yeah, and sometimes we can be disobedient, and our disobedience can cause us to go wandering. Look at the children of Israel; they was disobedient and was doing their own thing, and God finally was like, "I bet y'all got to deal with wandering in this wilderness for 40 years. Since y'all don't want to do it my way, go on ahead, do it y'all's way." So
So,
yeah.
but I think it's probably safe to say all of us, but because I don't know everybody, I'll say probably most of us have done that at some point in our lives.
Mm-hmm. I know I'm
Run
guilty.
ahead, yeah, run ahead of God's plan
Mm-hmm.
because we got a word.
And that word is true, but sometimes God is saying yes, but there's still a but wait. And all we hear is the yes, and we miss the but wait.
Right. So then I was your next guest.
Uh, and that
So
this one right here, y'all. Mm, I gotta go into how we even linked up before we even go into this. Like literally, the way we even linked up, I knew this was gonna be powerful because we linked up because of the fact. that someone sent her to me, I believe. Am I right?
Hmm. Yes.
Somebody sent you to me. And when they sent you to me, the meet and greet, I had had a hard day that day. It was like everything that could go wrong was going wrong. And literally, this one right here started speaking life into me.
Mm.
I don't even think we even got into really what the episode would be about. She just started speaking life into me, started praying over me, and I'm like, and I'm not gonna lie to you all. I tried to put her in the category of my big sister. And as time went on, she let me know I'm more than your big sister. I'm your auntie. And I'm like, say less. And it's real. It really is true. Like, she literally, even on my anniversary episode, you all, if you all only knew the stuff that I dealt with to get that episode recorded, where my computer tried to act up, I was aggravated. I was about to just reschedule everything. She literally prayed over me before we even started the recording. And this is why I say everybody needs a Dr. Myava Clark, aka Auntie Myava, in their life.
To God be the glory. Can I tell you a story um, about how I became the woman in front of you
Tell it.
sitting here? So I have two children, two adult children, and they both have unique abilities. My son was diagnosed when he was little with developmental delays and later developmental disabilities where he just struggled in school and we had to get him extra support to help him catch up with his typically developing peers, right? My daughter was the opposite. She was in gifted and honors courses and advanced placement courses, but she later developed um, medical challenges that one of the things was migraine headaches. She suffered tremendously and she needed a 504 plan. So I, I dealt with the IEP, individualized education program, with my son and a 504 plan with my daughter. Fast forward, my daughter, senior year in high school, when most people are enjoying life, she struggled. She missed probably 29 days of school that year due to medical concerns. The year before, she had 83 doctor's appointments. The summer between senior year in high school, freshman year in college, she spent 3 weeks in a hospital. The day she came out the hospital, I was walking and my life flashed in front of me. The Lord literally said this to me. He said, "My Ava, Kyra has had 83 doctor's appointments in 1 year. You were in a car accident and you had 2 to 3 appointments a week for a year and a half. Between the two of you, in 1 year, you had about 200 doctor's appointments. You're a wife, you're a mother, you have two jobs, you go to church, and you get to the gym whenever you can." And this is when I threw my hands up. He said, "And you have not lost your mind." I threw my hands up and I said, "God, I surrender. I surrender all. From this day forward, I will be your mouth on earth and say whatever you want me to say. I will be your legs on earth, go wherever you want me to go, and I will do whatever you want me to do." That's why I'm in complete surrender. That's why I can rest in Him. And that's why I can show up like this because of what I went through. and the average person would never know because I was in the fire and didn't come out burnt. I don't smell like smoke.
Mm. That's it's funny how you said that because literally just a couple of weeks ago, by the time this episode is about a couple of weeks ago, I preached a sermon on the story of Joseph, where his brothers sold him into slavery, had written him off, had been done with him, was done with him. But I said, but God had a plan for him. And the plan was to take him from the pit to the jail back to the palace. They thought they had killed him. They thought where they was placing him at was going to be his ending point. But what it really was a point for him to for him to be elevated to the point to where they had to come to him and ask him for for help with something that they was needing. That is the epitome of God will use your enemies and make them your footstool. That's powerful right there. And you all, her episode, I'm not saying this because she's on here, but her episode was probably one of my favorites because of the simple fact of the way that she just opened up about everything that she went through and like how, like she said, yes, she went through it, but it didn't kill her.
And I got some truths from that from my life. I didn't understand it in real time, so don't think I was always here. I wasn't. I had highs and lows. Most days I was good because I've always been. I had faith since I was 7. As young as 7, I remember building faith. But with the ebbs and flows, and I just told you all I've been through, I wasn't always up. I wasn't always positive. There were moments when I was losing faith. I was losing trust. But thank the Lord, He sent me word, and I will hold on to that word, and it will pull me through. So I learned that this is bigger than me. It's my story for His glory. But what is so powerful about my testimony for me is it was never about me. It was about Him getting me to this point where I have the passion to help others. I reach back and don't want others to be alone in their journey.
Mm-hmm.
I want to support them through it. So, how do I do that? I put my life out there in front of everybody because I recognize I'm a very private person, but this is not about me. Obedience is better than sacrifice, and I have to sacrifice my comfort to do the will of God to help other people and to pull them in their journey.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So let's move on off of me and let's go to Dr. Iris Wright.
Yes, ma'am. Another one that was just sent to me. She came to me because somebody sent her my way. A lot of the ones from this season that was interviewed was sent to me by other people. So that's powerful right there.
So she's an author, she's a social justice activist, and
Hmm.
she also is a podcaster. So tell me more about your connection with her and what you got out of it.
With her, I just learned a lot the about how to handle your business as a podcaster.
Mhm.
Like I'm still learning that from her, from Toy. Both of them are still helping me in so many ways with that. And with her also, I've learned a lot about how the prison system is basically trying to keep us back low key. Hockey, not low key.
I was going to say, it's nothing new about that.
Hockey, like they
Hmm.
have definitely, if you pay attention to it, these statistics will show what they want you to see is that there's more black men in prison than anywhere else. And in all honesty, that's not true. They don't go through every single place to figure out where they're at, but they literally will take a certain group and put all of them in there. And everybody that's in prison is not in there for something that they actually did.
Right.
So,
Hmm.
and some of them have just made some bad mistakes. And if we honest, if all of us was judged for every mistake that we made, every last one of us would be in prison. So that was another great episode as well that I got a lot from her.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I
Good.
said this month of March was probably one of my favorite ones. I love when Women's History Month comes along because what I love to do is to shine the light on the women that really do not get enough light shined on them on. Like, especially African American women. I love shining the light on them so that the world can see, yeah, they're more than what you see on Basketball Wives. They're more than what you see on Love and Hip Hop. They're doctors, they're lawyers, they are business women, they are ministers, they are women of God, they are mothers, they are wives. They're all of these things. And you're going to put some respect on that name.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you including me in that and bringing me back and giving me the opportunity to be in front of your audience and just thank you. I appreciate it. So, question for you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What are you expecting to happen in the next season?
Next season, next season. So, you all, I have heard you all have reached out and you all have been on my case about the I Survived It series, which was last season. And I really thought that I was done with it. And as I prayed, and as God kept bringing it back to me, because even this season there was a lot of them that came on the show that had a I survived it testimony. So it was like I had to realize that this might be the direction that the show is supposed to go.
Hmm.
And so I'm proud to let you all know that come in May, I survived it is back. We are coming back with that series. I'm not even gonna call it a series. We're coming back with it. It is coming back. I'm excited about it. I've already started recording a couple of episodes, and literally every episode that I have recorded so far has been power packed and has been very informative, and I've loved it, and I cannot wait until you all see these episodes when they release in May. I cannot wait.
How did you come up with that? How did you come up with the I Survived It series?
So literally this started October of last year. September, October of last year, where October is suicide month, suicide awareness month. and it's breast cancer awareness month as well. And I was just sitting there, and I'm like, you know what? Let me come out with this series. And in all honesty, I had some stuff that I went through that I had finally that I was able to survive it and I was able to make it through it. So I came out with this series. I thought it might be a couple of episodes, but it literally turned into something way more than I could ever even imagine. I
Wow.
wasn't. It took a life of its own, and I am proud of it. And I am extremely proud to say that this was something that I was a part of, and I'm happy that God gave me that idea.
Awesome. Awesome. And you said that you have a surprise. What surprise do you have?
So, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever being played, you all are about to get the new Real Talk Monday slash WebJ HG3 Studios, which I got another announcement I'll be making here shortly. WebJ HG3 Studios new intro video. Check it out, you all, and let me know what y'all think in the comments.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very easy to talk to. You know, you're a strong man of your faith, and that's what makes it so easy. We connected like that in the beginning.
Ah, that's pretty hot. I like it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What the vibe was for that was I wanted people to get the vibe of they was in a movie theater. That's what I wanted them to get.
What definitely came across. It definitely came across.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you for your input because you all the first one to ever see this video was Dr. Myava Clark. So she was the first one because I had to get auntie's stamp of approval on it to make sure that it was up to par.
Very nice.
So
Very
that's what we
nice.
have coming out, and also we are rebranding. The if you have paid attention, low key, the rebrand has already started. Um, it is still gonna we are rebranding from Web JHG3 Studios to just simply James H. Glover Studios. So the rebrand has already started already on YouTube and it has started already on TikTok. But come April, you are going to see the rebrand start happening more on Instagram, Facebook, um, and all of our other social media sites. You're going to be seeing that happening more.
Very nice. Very nice. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we are trying to be obedient and trying to make it easier for you to all to find us because I know with the Rebs HC3 Studios, it's simple, but I know James H. Glover Studios will be easier to find. So And this will be a one-stop shop where everything that will be released from James H. Glover the third will be coming out on that studio page. So we're excited about that.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm gonna give the floor over to you and let you just say whatever you want. You have total free reign, Auntie.
Okay. Well, I thank God again for turning my pain into passion and for turning my pain into purpose. And I have started a group called MOET, Mothers of Exceptional Kids. It's a support group so they never have to feel alone in this journey. It's a community where women that are currently going through it with smaller children and women that have, like myself, that have already navigated the space, as well as professionals that can help them in this space. We all come together in the community and just support. They can ask questions, they can ask for resources. And I did put out a collaboration book, The Parent and Caregiver's Guide, Overcoming the Odds of Disabilities, Medical Challenges, Mental Health Disorders, and Trauma. And in that book, I have 12 co authors with me. Half are parents, and the other half are professionals. They all answer the same questions to really give back, to be a resource to parents. So, this support group is similar in design as that book was, to really help nurture these people as they're navigating life. And I say mothers, but it could be for fathers as well. It's just that I'm a mother and I connect with mothers differently, but it's not discriminatory. Fathers are welcome.
Mhm.
And in that, I just encourage people, please connect with me. And if you want to work with me or connect with me further, that you can go and download my free ebook, The 7 Steps to Strengthen Your Bond with Your Children. And you can get that free ebook by going to bondwithyourchild.drmaevaclark.com. That's bondwithyourchild.drmaevaclark.com. And I will definitely have that link available to you in the comment section.
Definitely, definitely, y'all definitely download that for sure. It's like you all when I tell you the there's a reason why she hasn't been on here once this season, but she's been on here 3 times. And it is because of the fact of I know that number one, I can trust her. And number two, I know that her spirit is right. And let me keep it all the way 100 with you all. I'm not about numbers no more. If your spirit ain't right and we not gelling together on that spiritual side, no, I don't care how much following you have. I am more concerned about making sure that our spirits coincide. And when I tell you with my auntie right here, every time we on the phone, that spirit just coincides. Like she'll tell me stuff and I'll be like, I'm like, yep, that's confirmation. And there's been times where if I would have listened to her, I would have been out of a lot of trouble. I would have saved myself some trouble. But we think one thing that I've learned from her is it's not a mistake if you learn from it. It's a lesson.
Absolutely. It's
So,
not failure and
mm,
it's not a mistake.
mm,
If you learn, it's a
it's a
lesson.
lesson. Yeah. And you all, I am off the month of April. I am finally taking a month off. I I'll be honest with you all. If it was up to me, I would be still releasing stuff. But I do know that I've had some people in my ear that has told me that I need a little break. And I do. I definitely do. Life has definitely been lifing over here a little bit, and I need a little break to where I can kind of decompress. I can kind of make sure that I'm hearing from God correctly. Because how can I pour out to you all if I'm not pouring back, if I'm not getting poured back into? So I will be off in the month of April. But y'all never know with me. Y'all know me. There might be some pop-up episodes of some older shows that y'all might just see. So stay locked in. Probably April 1st, you will officially see the change of everything from Web's AC3 Studios to James H. Glover Studios. So stay locked in. That way you can make sure that you are catching all of that. And I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Auntie, for coming on here and blessing us with your presence. Once again, we appreciate you. And one thing about her, she's only a phone call away. Anytime I need her, the answer is always, I got you, nephew. I got you. And you all stay tuned. C and I and a couple of other people got something that we're cooking up. So you all stay tuned. It's gonna be good. I promise you all. It's gonna be good to our, especially for our African American women. It's gonna be powerful. So you all definitely make sure you all stay locked in because you never know when that announcement about that is gonna be dropped. We're kind of we're trying to figure things out right now, but I promise you all it's going to happen before this year is up. This will be released. So get ready for that. So as I always say, as my former pastor said many a times, sometimes our disappointments are nothing more than God's appointments, meaning some things that we look at as bad, God is only turning it around for our good. Stay blessed, be blessed, and be a blessing to someone else. And I will see y'all on the other side. Peace. Love you all.
Bye. Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too.
So when Jesus walked into the house, he told them that she's not dead, but she's sleeping. Yes. And everybody in that house that was ready to celebrate her death began to laugh. Mm-hmm. So wait a minute. They was ready to celebrate her death. But when Jesus is telling them there ain't going to be no funeral, it's going to be a home celebration. Right. Because this woman that is dead is now going to be alive. They start laughing. So in other words, they wasn't ready to celebrate life, but they was ready to celebrate death. Right. So as I make a claim to you this morning, we got to be careful about the people that we let up in our house. We got to be careful of the people that are ready to celebrate a death with us,